Okay, so we're going live today because my other phone, the baby got a hold of it, so it decided it's going to lock for 15 minutes. So I can't record the thing I was going to record. So anyway, the point that I'm making today is that I take Chinese medicine herbs for my cycle. And I wanted to talk about this because I was diagnosed, well, we'll say kind of diagnosed with endometriosis. I ended up in the hospital in March with just severe pain. And I have a massively high pain tolerance. Like, I've given birth to all of 6 of my children with no drugs. Even the twins, even the second twin that was breech. And, I've done it. But this pain was intense. It was crazy. It was horrible. And so I was like, I need to go to the hospital because I think something is seriously wrong with me. Because when it gets to the point where I can't focus on anything else but the fact that I'm in pain, there's something wrong. So hi, if you're new here, my name's Jasmine Valencia. I am a feminine integration alchemist. It is my mission, and you'll probably get this if you look at any of my content, but I really am on a mission to have women understand that there's nothing wrong with them. We're not broken. We're not inferior in any way. We have just fragmented ourselves in such a way that we need to reclaim all these parts of ourselves. We need to become every unhinged version of ourselves and create a life that we feel is actually worth living, because so many of us have been in survival mode for literally eternity, and we're just let's be done with that. Okay, let's be done with survival mode, because it's not a fun place to be. It starts to feel normal at some point, but that doesn't mean it's fun. So anyway, I was ovulating in March, and I started to have really bad pain. And so I was like, I need to go to the hospital. I was there. They tried to tell me that I had some other issue that had nothing to do with anything. They told me I had colitis or something. And I was like, but that's I don't have the symptoms of that. Let's be real. I know what that entails. And then they tried to tell me that I have, C. diff, the one where you're shitting your pants like crazy. Didn't have that either, because I was like, that's not happening. I don't have that problem. I need you to get someone else in here because y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So finally I saw a GI doctor. He was like, no, you don't have that problem. I think you need to see an OBGYN. So they sent the OBGYN in, and he's went through all my history and goes, you know what? I think you probably have endometriosis. And I was like, great. How fun. So what are my options with that? How do I solve this problem? Well, we can put you on more higher dose progesterone birth control, which I don't like to fuck with my hormones. Or we could, surgery. And I was like, great. And my mom goes, well, you should just get a hysterectomy, because she's hell bent on me not having another baby, which I'm not trying to have another baby, but I don't need to get all of my woman parts removed from my body, I'm only 35. I don't want to do that yet. And so I was like, okay, endometriosis, fun. There has to be some way to deal with this more naturally. It doesn't have to, does it have to be that I can only have surgery or fuck with my hormones in order to solve this problem? Those are my only options? Really? That's what you're telling me? So me, being who I am, I decided I'm going to research the absolute fuck out of this. Oh, hey, Allison. Good to see you on here. My other phone doesn't work to record right now, so I'm just doing a live because I don't have any more storage on this phone to record a reel like normal. So anyway, I was like, I'm going to find a natural way to deal with this. And so I looked stuff up online. I found some things. I found that Chinese medicine is actually very helpful in this regard. And so I was like, I'm going to look into that. So that, along with some diet changes, things like that, which really, I've not made any diet changes. Let's just be real. I don't do that. Like I'm aware of what I'm eating, but I don't like force myself to eat a certain way. Anyway, I looked all that up, and then I came home and I looked in this glorious book that I have that talks about like energetically what's going on, emotionally what's going on when you have a physical problem. So I looked it up, endometriosis, and of course it goes to like basically saying you hate being a woman. And I was like, damn straight I hate being a woman, because fuck all of this. Like, it's terrible, you know. I have been going through this cycle forever and ever, and it sucks every single month. I don't know a single woman who's like, I love having my period, it's so wonderful. Like, no, it's terrible. And then having all these babies, being postpartum, doing like all the things, right? All the things that come with being a woman. And I have felt at times like I'm cursed. Like, why did I have to be a woman? Why couldn't I have been a man? They have so many less issues, like physically, just with the way that the world is created for them. And so I was getting frustrated because like I was having ovulation pain. And I was like, God, this just sucks. Like, why is it that I have to have pain when I'm ovulating, and pain when I'm on my period, and pain, and like, this is just stupid, and I don't like it, and it's not fair. And then also with all this stuff online, I was starting to be like, God, this just sucks. Like, men suck. Being a woman sucks. Everything sucks. I hate all of it. Like, I was getting very much in like one of those places where I was just like on a downward spiral of frustration because of what I was seeing online. And I was like, okay, this book is absolutely correct. Like, right now, I would say I, in fact, hate being a woman. Like, no lie. And then I was like, okay, but I don't really hate being a woman. Like, being a woman is so great. Like, if for no other reason, I love being a woman for the fact that, like, when you're having sex, I get to have like many orgasms and he only gets one. Like, I'll take being a woman. You know what I mean? So, but also just the way that we are. So I started to be like, I'm going to shift my focus on this, and I'm going to dig a little deeper into, you know, what I think being a woman is. And so I started like reading more. I started just listening to myself more and being like, you know what? Like, I saw this thing where some woman was saying like, oh, I just do what I have to survive in a man's world and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I'm done. I'm done doing that. I don't want to survive. Like, I've survived so much shit in my life, just surviving and surviving and surviving. And I survived a narcissist, and I survived near death, having babies, and I survived like all these things. And I'm like, can we just not survive constantly anymore? Like, can we just chill out with the surviving? And I was like, I am not going to just survive in a man's world anymore. I'm going to create my own world. That's what I'm going to do, because I know that that's completely possible, because I have seen it in my own life where I'm like, I decide that this is how this is going to be, and then it magically becomes that. It's called manifestation or prayer or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And like, I have changed my life drastically in so many amazing ways. And I'll be sharing like how I do these things in the reclamation. We'll be talking more about a lot of like all the things. But the point is, I was like, I am going to reclaim what it is to be a woman in the way that I view me being a woman, right? And so this is going to be different for every single woman. And that's why I'm creating this thing of the reclamation, is because it's reclaiming yourself. It's not reclaiming like what someone tells you you're supposed to be as a woman. It's like, who are you? Like, as a woman, who are you? What do you like to do? Like, what do you want to do? How do you want to be? Do you want to be not angry all of the time? Like, or do you want to be allowed to let your anger out sometimes when it is valid? Or do you want to, like, how do you want to be? Do you want to stay home with your kids? Do you not want to stay home with your kids? Do you want to tap into more spirituality? Do you not? Like, what do you want as a woman? Because it's going to be different for everyone. But the thing is, the common thread is in a woman's life, we have this thing, this lovely thing called a cycle, right? Lovely, not lovely, shitty, wonderful. I'm not going to tell you how to feel about it. Because it varies for me. Like, there's so many things I appreciate about having a cycle, and then there's so many things I don't appreciate about it. But I was like, you know what? I'm really going to embrace this. I'm going to embrace the fact that I am a woman. I have these cycles. This is just the cards I was dealt, or the path that I chose. I don't know, but that's the way that it is. So I am going to embrace it. And so I started doing that. And I also started taking like Chinese medicine herbs, like in a little tincture that I put in my fizz every day, or my tea, or whatever I want to put it in. And I've not had any problems at all. I've not had any problems. And so you could say maybe, well, it's the herbs, they fixed everything, right? Maybe, possibly, potentially, I don't know. But I really think a lot of it had to do with me embracing being a woman and being happy with that fact, and really like just leaning into it and learning more about it, and learning about how, like, so what I did is I started researching different myths throughout time, right? Different goddesses, different just like in Greek myths, mythology, Egyptian mythology, Roman mythology, like all the different mythologies, right? And I was like, okay, so we're going to look at all these women throughout all this time. And basically, it's like I am seeing so much of people trying to promote like feminine embodiment and divine feminine whatever, and like being in your feminine and all these things, right? And it's always about be soft, be gentle, be quiet, be, demure, be what the fuck ever way that you're supposed to be, right? And I just realized like there's all these different representations of like goddesses. They're not all just like meek little mice. And they are fierce. Like, Kali is one of my absolute favorites, and she's like, she just fucking destroys shit, but it's to bring new things in, right? She clears the way. And I'm gonna go into this because like this is I get so ahead of myself, I feel like. So I'm doing the reclamation first, and then I'm gonna do like deep dives into all of these different mythologies. So I'm trying to keep my focus on where I'm going right now, but we're going to introduce this throughout because it has to do with like the different archetypes. So when I ran the restoration, which was my free masterclass, we talked about your cycle. Like on the third day, we really went deep into that and the different archetypes. And so there's like the maiden, the mother, the sorceress, and the crone. And so I was like, oh my God, we go through this like every single month. We go through this, but it's not just that. It's also in our life. Like we have a portion of our life that is the maiden portion. We have a portion that is the mother portion. Whether or not you have children, that doesn't matter. It's just the energy of that season. It has nothing to do with having babies or not. You can still be that mother archetype with or without children. And then we move from that into the sorceress, which she is like super cool. She's actually my favorite. I used to not like it so much because that's like the luteal phase where you become a bitch on wheels and people are like, you're PMSing, you're fucking this, we don't like you, right? But really the sorceress time is, she's like, bing, eyes wide open. I see what's not working. I'm going to call that shit out and prepare for this wise era of the crone where she is like having it's an integrated experience. You know, she's experienced all the things. And so now she can see everything for what it is and see through all illusion. Like, it's just really cool. So we went pretty deep into that. But that's kind of what got me started on this, was like being diagnosed with something where I was like, I don't like being a woman. So that's why I'm having this pain, because like, what? And so I was like, I am going to figure this out, and I'm going to figure out how to embrace being a woman and really like live in that and embody it and be happy about it. And so what I'm saying is, like, you're going to see all these different representations. There's like very much light feminine happening. I don't really like that so much. Like, I love the light feminine. It's obviously a part of us. But it's being pushed very, very hard right now. And then you also have the dark feminine, which I love more, but you need both. And that's also being pushed really hard right now. You have these like two categories, and people are not putting them together. They're just like, you either need to be this submissive, quiet little, you know, whatever, and serve everyone around you for all eternity, or you need to just set everything on fire because you're dark feminine. And it's like, can we just calm down? Can we just chill and be? Because that's really what it's more about. And I'm not saying it's a sit back and do absolutely nothing type of feminine thing either. Like, there's such a misconception, because feminine is receiving. Like, we still, as women, yes, we are a representation of the feminine, but we still have a masculine side to us as well. We have masculine and feminine, just like men have masculine and feminine. They're just more typically, not right now, but typically a representation of the masculine. And we have been getting, all of this has just been getting mixed up in the world. And so, like, man, I have so much to say on this. I feel like I could talk about this for hours and hours and hours, because so much has happened today online. I've been commenting on things I have no business commenting on, because I know people are just gonna not like it, but it's funny to me, so I'm doing it anyway. But it's basically like, we all have both of these energies in us, and like, can we just accept that? And can we just be okay with that? And can we allow ourselves to be a both and all of the time? Because according to everything, like, I am a mother, therefore I can't be a whore, right? Like, you have the Madonna and the whore. And I am just, will burst your bubble right now and not apologize for it, but like, in the bedroom with my husband, I absolutely am a full-on capital W whore. Like, I will do anything. I don't care. But it's like, oh, don't talk about that because you have children. Well, yes, I have children, but that doesn't mean that I'm only a mother. I am a mother, yet I run a business. Well, you can't be that devoted of a mother if you're working. Or you can't be that good at your job if you have kids. Why? Why can't we do both? Why can't we be both? Why can't we have, fun, carefree, adventurous energy, and then also have a more serious, like, caring energy, and have, why can't we do all these things? That's my question. Why are we trying to put women in a box where they have to be a certain way, and they can only be that way based upon whatever thing you want to base it on? I just don't agree with that whatsoever. And so I am really, like I said, on a mission to help wake women up to this, of like, you can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to choose between one or the other. You just don't have to. It's not a choice that you need to make. The choice that needs to be made is to embrace all of who you are or not. Are you going to embrace every single part of you and be completely you? Or are you going to hide certain parts so that you can please a certain person? Are you going to tone down certain parts so that you can please certain people? Are you going to amplify certain parts that you maybe don't like that much and don't really like? You're like, this is kind of me, but not fully. Like, I'm also taking on some other expectations of me to be a certain way. And so I'm going to be that for these people because they expect it. Like, why do we do that? You know? So I made a post about this because I saw a video. And I commented on it because, man, where this guy who is an absolute asshat most of the time, like anything he says is just like, please stop talking. But he was saying that, you know, as men, they go get their hair done for the chicks, you know? And he's like, and why do women have to be so against us that they can't just admit? And I'm like, wait, so us not admitting that we get our hair done for you is being against you? I was like, no, I don't think so. Because the last time I checked, I don't know any women that specifically get their hair done for men to attract them. Like, no. Maybe if you're in a relationship, you know, you would ask your significant other, what do you like? Do you like my hair long or short? Or this color or that color? Like, you would ask, maybe. But typically, what I said, and this is all I said, I don't know any women that do this. Usually, we get our hair done for ourselves or potentially for other women, because then we can be like, look at my hair. And then your girlfriends will be like, oh my God, your hair's amazing, and hype you up, right? Because I have never, ever in my life gotten my hair done and had a guy, any guy, be like, oh my God, your hair looks amazing, except for the male hairdresser that I had. Never. In my 35 years have I ever gotten my hair done and had a man praise my hair because I got it done. So why on earth would I be getting my hair done for men? That doesn't make any sense. Typically, men think that women dress for them. And yes, there are times where I will dress for my husband. Typically, though, almost 100% of the time, I dress however the fuck I want to dress. Because I want to. And the only thought that ever crosses my mind is, what is another woman going to think of this outfit? If I'm thinking about anyone else at all. Like, are these shoes going to look good with it? Does this match well? You know, because typically women are going to be the ones complimenting you on your outfit. Never have I ever met a man that's like, wow, those shoes are sick. You look so good with that outfit together. No, they're focused on very certain things. Never. So my point was that we do it for ourselves and we do it for each other. Like, honestly. So then, now I'm a liar who can't admit things to myself. Okay. And also, apparently, I'm a lesbian. So, congrats, women. Like, what? I was just like, how does this doesn't make any sense. And the people, and this one guy, it was so hilarious because he was like, oh, please, yes, you do it for the men. He's like, if it weren't for women, I wouldn't take a shower. And I was like, are we admitting that you just don't shower ever, like, unless you're gonna see a woman, because that's weird. And this other woman chimed in. She's like, so what you're saying is you would never take a shower if there were no women? He's like, exactly. I was like, that's a weird thing to admit. So anyway, so I made a post earlier about that, asking what people's opinions are. Like, so if you're watching this and you'd like to share your opinion, do we do these things for men? And I am not talking about if you're in a relationship or married or whatever, and you're doing it for your significant other. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, do you go get your hair done for the validation of men? Plural, men. Because that's what these guys were talking about. They get their hair done for the chicks. And I'm like, okay, that's fucking weird, but whatever. So, is that a thing that we do? Right? Allison, it's weird. It's weird. That was a weird admission to say on the internet, I feel. So I asked that question, and the point was this. The point of that whole post, if you have time, go back and read it, because it's pretty good. It just kind of came pouring out of me. But I will just recap it a little bit. I posted it with a picture. And this picture of me is one of the absolute worst pictures of me. Like, I would not typically post something like this on the internet because, wow. It was the picture. So I was out. I was sitting next to my friend. Her boyfriend was across the table. Her boyfriend at the time, was my husband's brother. And he had invited my husband out. And this was the night that we met. And I was wearing this cut-off Scorpio t-shirt that's gray with a purple Adidas half-zip over it, with a leopard print jacket over that because I was fucking cold, with white and floral yoga pants with socks and Birkenstocks. That's what I was wearing. My hair was a absolute disaster. I had not brushed it. It looked terrible. I hadn't done anything to it. I was wearing no makeup. I was, I hadn't shaved any of my body in I don't know how long, because I was like, I don't care. So all these things, I was a hot mess. And he snapped that picture of me to send to his brother. And I'm like, is that the picture that enticed you to come out and meet me? Because, okay. And so how I looked in that picture is exactly how I looked the night that we met. That picture. It is not a good picture. It was not a good look. There was nothing about that outfit that was like, yes, slay, whatever. No, it was bad. And I can fully admit that because I was prepared to stay in that night. I was going to watch movies and chill and snuggle on the couch and just be with me and my friend, right? That was the plan. And I got duped into going out and meeting this dude's brother. Ugh, who wants to do that? I don't want to do that. I don't want to meet your brother. And yeah, so he showed up and the rest is history. We hit it off immediately. He did not look at me at all. I looked like a freaking dementia patient or something with my outfit, not knowing how to put an outfit together at all. In my 30s, being I don't know how to dress myself, especially to go out in Austin. What? No. And still, this man took me out, and we kind of didn't have a choice because we were kind of forced together. His brother and my friend were like, oh, you guys will ride together. And then they just kind of ditched us. But he wasn't like, well, I'm going to take you back and drop you off because I'm embarrassed to be seen with you. He still took me out. We still went all the places. We danced. We had a great time. We had conversation forever. And then we went back and had the best night of my entire life. It was fantastic. It was great. And there was nothing about my appearance that was a put off to him because I was 1,000,000% completely and totally myself. Completely and totally. I was not trying to present myself a certain way. I was not trying to act a certain way. Even at one point, he had taken me to this one place and he was talking to this other girl who's like a friend of his from a job previously that he hadn't seen in a long time. So he was talking to her. And I was like, okay, I can stand here awkwardly and like wait. But I was like, I don't really care what he's doing right now. So I'm going to go dance. And so I just went on the dance floor and danced by myself. And then there was another girl that came up and we were dancing together. And it was like so much fun. And then he danced with me and we just had a great time. But I was not worried about his opinion of me. He started saying something when we were in the car. Like, I'm in his car. He's driving. And he starts saying something. And I'm like, I don't agree with that at all. I can't even remember what it was. But I just remember that I was like, no. Like, I don't agree with that whatsoever. And I was like, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't really care. But I'm just telling you, like, I do not agree with you. And like all these things, that was just me being me. I was like, I'm not going to stifle my opinions for this guy. I'm not going to ruin my night because he's talking to some other girl. Who gives a fuck? I am not like, we're not together. I don't care. I am not going to be like weird because of what I'm wearing, would have given me license to act weird for sure. But I was just like, I'm just going to be me, and either he's going to like me or he's not. And either way, I don't care. I honestly did not care. I was like, I literally do not care. And guess what? He ended up really liking me because I was actually me. And the second that I tried to change that when we were in a relationship and I tried to start being a certain way and playing the role of wife and doing all the things, and he was like, no, I don't like that. I want you to just be you. He's like, I want you to get mad at me sometimes. I want you to speak your mind. I want you to have an opinion. And this is the thing that I wish I could just shake all women and force them to understand, which I wouldn't do because I won't force my opinions on you. But it's just the thing is like, a man that actually loves you wants you to have a fucking voice. If he says anything along the lines of like, I'm the head of the household, you need to just be quiet, you're a woman, no, absolutely not. A man who loves you, a man who is just, even if he doesn't love you yet, but he's just a decent fucking human being, will want you to have a voice, an opinion, a brain to think for yourself, to be capable. Like, why is it that, I mean, I know why it is, so I'm not even going to ask that question, but there's this thing where men are wanting women to be fully dependent on them. Now, my husband is the only one working right now. I was the only one working before. Now he has taken that over, and I'm totally okay with that. And at the same time, we have discussed this at length. Like, we don't want the other person to necessarily be fully financially dependent on the other one. Like, we trust each other, so that's not the issue. The issue is, what if something happens to the person who's making the money? And so that was one of the things he told me early on. And now this has changed a little bit where he's like, if I can provide everything, I will, But he was like, I think that you should work in some capacity. So right now he's allowing me to build a business and stuff. But it's because he saw the position that I was in after coming out of a marriage where I did not work for 10 years. And he's like, I don't ever want you to be in this position ever again, because he loves me. It's not that he doesn't want to provide for me, because he absolutely does. But he wants to make sure that I am taken care of. And yes, I know there's life insurance and things like that, but like, none of that is necessarily a guarantee. So I'm pursuing what I like, the way that I want to make money. And he's totally good with that. And he supports me. And at the same time, like, he wants me to speak my mind. He wants me to have an opinion. Also, I will say, a man that actually loves you does not care how dressed up you are or what your fucking hair looks like. Honestly. I will be looking the most hobo-like, and somehow that's when, and this is like a weird phenomenon that happens. That's when he's like, hey girl, what's up? Like, it's like when you're in a relationship, you're more attractive to them when you're like the least attractive to yourself somehow. But I would say the reason is because you're being 100% you. You're being totally yourself. All the way. You're being yourself. Because you feel secure. You feel safe. And so I don't need to get all done up. And I've asked him even, because we communicate a lot about everything. And I asked him, like, do you prefer my hair long or short? And his answer was, however you feel best about your hair. Like, I like it both ways. I don't care. Whatever makes you feel good. Do you like me with more makeup or less makeup? He's like, baby, you're beautiful, regardless. And at the same time, this man is also one, if I'm wearing something that he knows I don't necessarily look good in, he will tell me. And it's not an insult. It's just like, I don't know that you want to wear that right now because that does not look the way that you're thinking it looks. Instead of just lying to me and being like, well, you look amazing, when he doesn't think so. He's honest. But also, he just thinks I'm beautiful, like, as I am right now. He'd be like, you're so beautiful. And I have no makeup on. When I do makeup, mostly, it's for myself because I feel like it. Half the time, I feel like when I'm doing makeup, it's to hide. I typically, historically, I have always gotten super done up when I've been like deathly ill because I don't want anyone to know that I don't feel good. So I just do my makeup and do my hair and everything. So I present a certain way. Now, when I do everything, it's because I want to, But before, I would do these things because I was trying to present a certain way. So I'm saying there's nothing wrong with wearing makeup. There's nothing wrong with doing your hair. There's nothing wrong with all of these things. Absolutely. Go do that if it makes you feel good. Do it for you. Who gives a fuck what these guys think? They don't notice. They don't notice. They don't care. If you are totally 1,000 million trillion % yourself, that's what they care about. And I'm not talking about the fuckboys. I'm talking about real good men. They will see you for who you are when you are embodying and like empowered and everything in yourself. That is what they want. On it, truly. That's what they want. They want a confident woman. The real men. Not the losers. The losers would love nothing more than an insecure 19-year-old girl who just is like happy to not think for herself, And it's really sad to me. And this goes into so many other issues, but I think we'll just stop for today because I could go on and on for hours, man. But my point is, be yourself. Do the things for yourself. If you want to do it for your man, fine. I have nothing against that. I do stuff for my man all the time. But when it comes to just living life, like, and correct me if I'm wrong. I could be very wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Because what I saw in the comments section on that thing was all the women agreed with me and all the men disagreed with me and tried to tell me what a liar I am. And I'm like, okay, well, last I checked, you don't have a vagina, so I don't know how you're trying to tell me what a woman thinks and what our motives are behind things, because you clearly would not understand. And that's the thing, is like, if we want to solve a lot of the problems in the world, like, can we start listening to each other? Can we start paying attention? So anyway, if you are triggered by any of what I'm saying, the reclamation is the place for you. Because we're going to go into this. We're going to go deep into this, into not outsourcing everything, into embracing who you are as a woman, into like having that deep confidence that comes from within. Because I used to not have that. I would not be showing up on the internet right now after working out and taking my hair down. And at first I was like, wow, taking my hair down was a mistake because it's all crazy. But like, I would not be showing up on the internet right now in the past, because I would have been like, well, I didn't do my makeup, so I can't get on there. I don't have my setup, so I can't get on there. Like, I'm just in my shorts and sports bra after working out. Like, I can't get online. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. This is me. You either love me or you hate me. It's just the way it is. So, if you love me or not, the reclamation is starting July 14th, so next Tuesday. And like I said, we're just going to go into all of this. And the best part about it is like being in a group with other women and creating that like sisterhood that maybe you haven't had before, or maybe you've been betrayed by before, or, you know, like, it's a very healing experience. So we are all going to be rising together in our power, in our, you know, feminine nature, and embracing who we are as women and everything that comes with that. So I look forward to seeing you guys there, and I will talk to you later. If you want the link, drop reclaim in the comments and I will send it to you. Okay, ciao.